This setup is a standing thoracic bilateral transverse push. This will be for segment levels T3 to T12, and the indications for this are a flexion or extension restriction or the malposition counterparts. And don't forget your static listing systems as well. Now, to do this, I'm going to be standing to the side and front of the patient. In this instance, I'm standing on the patient's left-hand side, but you can be on either side of the patient. I am going to use a closed hand contact, and for a flexion restriction or extension malposition, I'm going to set up on the segment that is posterior or in extension. So let's do that. I have T6. It has an extension malposition, flexion restriction. I am going to have the patient cross their arms in front of them, and the arm that is opposite from the side that I'm standing on is the one that I want overlapping on top. I am going to make a closed hand contact. I'm going to place it one segment below the contact level. In this instance, it's going to be T6. I'm going to take an I to S tissue pull. My anterior contact is on the patient's elbow, either just the top one or both. I'm going to have the patient about 6 to 4 inches away from the pad, and then I'm going to have the patient lean back onto my hand contact on that pad, get positioned in front of the patient. I'm going to have the patient take a deep breath, blow it out, lean in to get my pre-tension, and then I would thrust, line of drive being A to P, I to S. My force generator is going to be my hips, my core, pecs, and triceps. Now that was for a posterior static listing. Now for the anterior static listing, a flexion malposition or an extension restriction, now I'm still going to use that bilateral contact. I am still going to take that I to S tissue pull, but this time the segment that I am contacting is the segment below the one that is subluxated. So if T6 is anterior, I'm going to be setting up on T7, just exactly the same way I just demonstrated. So we have the patient's arms folded in front of them, one overlapping the other. Take my tissue pull I to S. This time it would be on T7. I would have the patient lean back onto my contact, take a deep breath, blow it out, bring her to pre-tension, and thrust. A to P, I to S, and force generator again is hips, core, pecs, and triceps. And that is the standing thenar bilateral transverse push.